Welcome to the Business Shop Podcast, where our guests speak on meeting the challenges of entrepreneurship, as well as offer tips and advice on business, marketing, technology, and more. Whether you are a newbie or a seasoned professional, this episode is for you. I am your host, Audrey Wiggins. Let's chop it up. I'm not here today to talk about branding, but I am here to talk about the person who is behind the brand, and that's you. That's me. We own a business, have a practice, or consulting firm, whatever business you're in. You may even be a career professional working for someone else, and that's okay. But there comes a time in most of our lives where we experience life-changing challenges or situations that come up. Of course, we don't plan these. And a lot of it revolves around loss. So grief. We want to talk about grief, whether that loss is from the death of someone close to us, or we lost a house or a car, or anything like that. Our dog or our cat died. But whatever that is, and even something positive as graduating from graduating from college, you spend all that time and you're pressed, and all that adrenaline, is going forth, and you're getting those grades, you're turning in assignments, and before you know it, graduation is here. And you graduate and it's all over, then all of a sudden it's like, it's gone, and you're depressed, but all of those things create something that I like to call grief behaviors. So what are the actions that come after those experiences? And I did experience the one with the graduation from college and the depression, but not knowing what it was. But it was a loss for the mind, because I was used to pushing, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. But even more definitive than that, when you talk about grief behaviors, my mother died 20 years ago, this coming September, just after 9/11. And I didn't know it, hindsight, it's 2020, right? And so I started creating things. I'm already a creative person. I had a business and it was flourishing. I was in it full time. I had quit my job several years before that, of just about almost 13 years. And I just didn't know what to do. She was, of course, a part of my life since I was born. So, for me to have in that cognitive space to even know, that she was there, along with my dad. And he later passed too, but it started with her passing. And first you have like some memory loss because you grieve so hard. And then I started noticing a pattern some years later, that instead of pouring into what I already had, which is say the Altogether Marketing or whatever marketing consultancy, and really building into that. And sometimes people say I just bury myself in my work, and till I get over the grief. And so what happened was I started creating stuff. I had another business. I had a cell phone business. Hindsight again, 2020. I opened a nail salon several years later. She died 2001, 2007. I started a nail salon, and I drug my computer up to the nail studio. It was this little spa, one person spa, and it was pretty. And so I went to school and trained and got my certification to be a nail tech. And I love giving pedicures. I love receiving them too. But and so I was there, and while I was in that space, it was like a salon loft before salon loft was coined. So there were other people in the building with me. They were mostly stylists. There was one other nail professional, and they would seek me out for marketing advice, or to do flyers. So I was still going, but my mind was not focused on that. And so I was still grieving. So I was just still reaching. So I was just reaching and reaching, just doing this and doing that, good things, but they were taken away from my real purpose, the gift that God had already given me in my marketing business. And again, you may be going through something similar or had gone through something, and you look back and now you understand what it is. It was a behavior out of your grief. And I wanted so much to tell this story because of that, because I know there's got to be a lot of other folks out there, men and women, who have gone through or will go through the same thing that I'm going through. And if you're walking that path right now, understand that you are not alone. And just find your focus, though. That's what if I can encourage you to do that. If whatever you had going on before that grief, try to get back to that or move forward into that, so that you can stay on that positive path. And trust me, you will save so much time. That was 2001. I'd had 2 books that I had never written never published, because I was grieving. And even so, in that process, when I was at the salon, I had created my first online course, and the imposter syndrome set in like nobody's business. Let me tell you, and it was crazy, and it took me almost 10 years to actually produce that course. It was about 7, and finally, so I went to 2014, and when I got serious, every year I would get serious, right? And I even had a person to invest money into it, and I ended up giving that person their money back because I just wasn't moving forward. I was still, locked, trapped up here in the grief, and it was kind of crazy. So I want to encourage you to move forward in whatever it is that you're doing, because otherwise it's gonna stale you. You're gonna sit back. You're gonna be still. You're gonna be stalemated, and you're gonna be wondering why isn't my business moving forward? Why aren't my projects? And it's just that the burdens that we carry are so heavy. So even if you take the time perhaps to get professional help, nothing wrong with it. I've done that, been there, done that. Okay. And the lady went on vacation to see her family, and I was like, no, I want my session next week, because it was exciting. I look forward to going and just spilling all this crap out on somebody else, and, professional, and it really helped a lot. So definitely grief behaviors is a real thing, and you want to stick to it, because like I said, it will set you back, and you won't accomplish the goals that you have. And it just takes too long, and you don't want your life to go ahead of you, because tomorrow is not present, or not promised to us. And in the present, it's gone before you know it. So whatever those business plans are that you have, or those dreams, dust them off and open them up, because what you have in your hands, this is what you're supposed to be doing. We have things in our hands, okay? We are blessed with fortunes right here in these hands. So whatever that is, I have to encourage you to really dig deep, get an accountability partner, someone who can help you to stay focused and stay on that path, because you're missing out. I do not want you to miss out because of grief behaviors. If we have got to move forward fast. Life is moving fast, and before you know it, you're going to be over 60 and you have not accomplished all your goals, because you're sitting out there with multi-million-dollar ideas, and you can do it. It's in you. But you've got to get past that burden of the grief of loss that happened in your life. And even still with going forward with that, my dad died 5 years later, December 2006. And so when the spring came of 2007, I said, you know what? I have it all together now. And I, relaunched my business, changed the name to All Together Marketing, but still, I was still carrying, I was still trudging. Okay, it was like that ball and chain, or that heavy burden was still on my shoulders. And I trudged through and pushed. I did go back to work, as a matter of fact. The same week, I accepted a job the same week that I actually opened that studio salon for nails back in 2007. And, and kept through that. And now I'm to that point. It's like, I've got to pursue that dream, because life is, like I said, life is moving on. And I don't want it to move on without me, because we have legacies to leave. There's someone looking up to us. There's always someone looking up to us. Even when we're in our worst of our imposter syndrome, there's always someone who can find something awesome in us that inspires them. So if I can inspire you to just pick it up a little bit, reach a little higher, okay? Tie a knot in the rope, and pull up, just reach, and you'll get there, because it's important. Your dream is waiting there. It's waiting for you to make something happen. So We have got to be out there empowering others, educating others, entertaining others, inspiring others, making impacts on this world. That's what we're here to do. We are given stuff in our hands again. What do you have in your hands? Let's set aside, let's push through, push those grief behaviors behind us and move forward, because with passion, purpose, with positivity, with position and power, and let's make it happen. Let's go push through those grief behaviors. You've got books out there. Like I said, I have 2 books. We've got to push those out because people need that information. People need your information. You may be a great coach. You may be a great graphic artist and web designer. I'm doing that. I have tons of clients and real excited about that. But there was more to success than business tools. Doing your podcast, I was going to talk about visibility. But we can't show up and be visible if we are not our authentic selves, if we are not showing up in full and in our full confidence and our conscious. We have got to be awoke and in the present. All right, the past is the past and we can't change it. Feel the pain, but push through. I just ask you, please push through. Okay, push through that grief. So the behaviors that you have will catapult you forward instead of setting you back because of the time that you spent doing something else. Sure, you may be good at it or you may not be good at it, but it takes away from your real purpose. And you may find that you'll be losing other things along the way, because I'll tell you what happened as well is that I lost a house. I've lost 2 cars because of these grief behaviors. If I had stayed the course, stayed the path, pushing through, because the grief is going to be there, and I'm not telling you to hurry up through your grief, because that's not healthy either. You have to take your time and go through it at your own pace. But if you can go through that pace with someone dragging you along in your purpose at the same time, that would really make a difference, and you would be much happier on the other side of that grief. Because again, you will experience loss, and those things are just material things that they can be replaced, but they also bring, more pain and more anguish. It's like, oh God, I lost my house, that's embarrassing. They repossessed the car, and but it's kind of funny because I was at the salon and I was at home, before I got to the salon, and it was like my car was missing, right? Somebody stole my car. Where is my car? Oh my gosh, it was funny. Looking back, it's funny. And I called the girl and said, well, they stole my car. I can't get there. Blah blah blah. They picked me up, and of course, to find out, you call the police department. It's even more embarrassing than when they tell you that that the car was repossessed. And and I can remember that one time going to the repossession company to pick up my belongings that were in the car, and it was sad. But it was also a wake-up call, and now I have that as part of my journey, part of my story that I can share with others to help them along the way. Sometimes we go through things so that we can encourage the next person and the next person, and the Bible actually talks about that. Is that whatever we have gone through is common to man. Someone else has gone through it before us, and it says the older ones teach the younger ones. And so here I am, and sometimes it may be age, older and younger, but it just may be that experience that I've had that could help someone else, so that you don't have to stumble the whole way through by yourself, and perhaps you can get through faster. And hold on to your dream, hold on to your power, because somebody else needs that from you. And so I want to encourage you to step up, stand up, and remember what you have in your hands, so that you can grow forward as you're going through your grief. Because that you aren't going to stop grieving. It's going to be there. That's part of life. And it may happen again sometime. Like I said, I lost my father after my mom. And with different things, you have different types of loss. There's divorce. There's, friendships that break up. You may get fired from a job, or you may have a good client that you really depended on, and they decide to go with someone else. And you have to grieve that loss. But that doesn't mean we stop living and just sit down or, scatterbrain ourselves into doing these other things. But so we have to stay focused. If that can be, if that could be the word or the lesson, is to stay focused while you're going through grief. so that you don't get pushed, aside and go through these experiences, grief behaviors. If I can help you push through, and remember and remind you what's in your hands, please contact me. I'll be glad to help you. My information is there. Please visit me on my website, altogether.biz, and send me a message. And let's together move forward and upwards and onwards, because we have multi-million-dollar enterprises to birth, to push through, to grow, so that we can help others. We can't help others if we're down or if we're scatterbrained with doing this and doing that. It's nothing wrong with multiple streams of income and multiple revenue streams within your business, because I do have several. But they all are under that umbrella of All Together Marketing, and you can do the same thing. If I can close with being visible as you come out of those grief behaviors, there's several areas in your business that you need to focus on. One is your branding, the continuity of your look, your colors, your logos, the pictures that you use when you post infographics, and the fact that you do have a plan for posting those infographics, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Some people are doing TikTok, doing some fun videos over there. It's not all crazy, but whatever whatever channels that you use, you want to be ready and prepared, because you have to be a part of. You are your brand, you are your business, so you have to be visible as you're more than just a logo, whatever that is. And there's other ways to show up. So you have your social media, you must have your website tight and together, as well as start doing more videos and putting those out there. And what's really exciting is that, podcasting has really come into full view of fruition with COVID. With people being off the previous year, a lot of podcasts were created. There's millions of them out there. But don't think that the market is saturated, because even if there are other topics and they're similar to yours, you're the voice of that topic. Your experience makes it unique. So that's another way to be visible, as well as maybe you want to have a video shows, a web TV. So those are other options out there, and you're showing up again in the marketplace where it's opening back up. So we're out there going to events, networking, we're going to dinners. So you have to make sure you have your business cards, whether they're physical business cards or you may have some digital business cards like Popple or some of the others. So you want to make sure that you have those types of communications ready for visibility to share with that person that you're meeting. And so that's your business cards, you have your flyers, whatever it is that you may be doing. And again, I had mentioned your website, so your domain name has to speak to your business. Keep it simple, no dashes, no hyphens, hyphenated names for websites that want to be memorable, and you want people to remember you as well. So those are ways to be visible, as well as putting ads out there. You've got to advertise. You have to promote your business. And getting back to the podcast and web TV shows, whose show can you be on? Be a guest on another show. Let's swap. Have people. Let's swap a show. Someone has a web show or a podcast. Swap each other's shows and make sure that you promote each other. So that's again, being visible is coming out of those grief behaviors. Those are behaviors, and you're going to have to push through. It's not going to be easy, because trust me, I was there, and now I just want to tell everybody and about somebody. Okay, so get out there. You're not alone. Again, let's be visible. Let's stand up and remember what we have, the power that we have in our hands by the gifts and talents that have been given to us to share with others. And if we're grieving and going over here when we should be going over here, just remember that. So stay focused, to put a pin, something to remind you, okay, I'm grieving. That doesn't mean I have to create another whole business, okay? Maybe put that energy into creating your course for that business. That'll give you something new to focus on, but it's still related to your business, and it's still on that path to success that you're looking, to be accomplished out here in this business world. Okay, so I just remember that, and I'm praying for you. You pray for me, because we're going to get through these grief behaviors so we can stay focused and we can make an impact on someone else in our path and leave a legacy for our families. Again, I'm Audrey Wiggins, your Chief Brand Strategist, also known as the Tech Diva. All right? So remember to show up authentically, grieve, but push through. Take care. I hope today's episode resonated with you. Perhaps you've gone through grief or you're in the middle of it. And rest assured, at some point, we will all go through some type of grief, not necessarily grief from death, but definitely we'll suffer loss. So hopefully you'll be able to come back to this podcast and grab some nuggets, or there are some other resources you will be able to plug into. And if things are really tough and you're having some dark thoughts, please give a call to 988 for some support. In the meantime, let's stay close and remember that, as entrepreneurs and being in business, that we are people first and we have to take care of ourselves. And things can happen to us that we have no control over. So thanks again, and I would appreciate your rating and review. You can go out and to our website and do that. businesschop.info. Thank you.